What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for something completely different. And today we're taking a look at the Bossfight Studios Bucky O'Hare from their Bucky O'Hare line. And Bossfight Studios, if you're not familiar with them, they did the Vitruvian hacks stuff, which was like all like medieval skeletons, Medusas, guys in armors, all that stuff. So this is an actual license they picked up. Now, I'm not super nostalgic for Bucky O'Hare. I remember seeing Bucky O'Hare in like a Toys R Us. Rest in peace, Toys R Us. But remember seeing Bucky O'Hare in Toys R Us near the Ninja Turtles at the time. And I remember the cartoon, and I really remember playing the Nintendo game, which I feel is a pretty darn good game, actually, back in the day. But I never really had any Bucky O'Hare toys. So I was at NJCC, and I saw these guys, like, oh, wow, that's cool, you know. I knew Bossfight had got the license. I had never seen them. They were like $35 a piece at NJCC. I didn't really feel like I really needed them, but then like I kind of kept looking at them like it just, the nostalgia tugged on me. And I know it's kind of like a relatively limited line for me. I don't think I'm getting everything. So I decided to go ahead and pick them up, at least 2 of them for now, and check them out. So one thing that really drew my eye is that like, it's so nostalgic to have like a drawn, you know, card here. With the back, and then like, you know, what else is in the wave and what's coming and all that. Like, it just screams nostalgia like Ninja Turtles did, you know, back in the day. So I just find it just really cool. And pieces of the comic here, and you know, like a bio card and everything. I love it. And I really like that they didn't actually seal the blister to the card here. So all you have to really do is just kind of fold over this plastic here to get it on out and slide everything out. Now, I haven't actually taken a look at this, so I don't know, you know, what I necessarily think of it yet. I figured we'd do that right on camera. So here we have our Bucky O'Hare out of his package, and like I said, very first impression, I mean, he's light. There's no doubt about it. It's very lightweight, especially when you consider it to something like this. He actually feels a little bit lighter. Now, there's some extra bulk in your metal head. But as you can see for the scale, I do feel like this Bucky O'Hare is going to scale real nice with like the modern turtles. He's certainly not really going to work if you were going to sit him next to like your classics Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Being that these guys kind of were the same size as your old school turtles, and kind of were there to create, you know, another mutant, for a better term, animal to put on a shelf. I think that's a solid decision by Bossfight Studios, if you ask me. So let's take a quick look at the figure here. It does have some great paint work here. I mean, you got the silver paint of the glasses and then like red paint on them. The eyes are well done, looks like tampoed on eyes. The face looks good, the hair is sculpted nice. The ears look pretty good. The paint is applied nice, even though, you know, it gets into a little tight crevice over there. From the back, I mean, they didn't skimp. The back is well painted. You have everything that you would want it to here. Yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about the way they painted it. So let's talk about a couple of his accessories. He does have a cape here. It does just kind of plug right into the back here, presumably. And the cape is like a soft rubber, so it is kind of hard to get into the back here. It might even need to be trimmed down a little. I'm not sure. So the cape takes a lot of work to get on there because of the soft rubber nature, and I do feel like it's not terribly well held in there. I do wish there was some better system in place for that, to hold it in there. Obviously it's not soft goods, which is fine. I don't really think it needs to be in this case. Talking about articulation on the toy, the head is on a nice big ball joint, so you get the up and down, and that's not necessarily the best looking thing now, is it? Could have used a little bit of extra paint on the chin there, but I think in most poses you're not going to notice it, though it is a little obnoxious from the side. I didn't realize it either. The ears are ball jointed here, so that's pretty cool. You can swivel the ears, whatever makes you happy, if you want them back or to the side. There you go. Head's on a ball joint. The shoulders are on like a swivel at the top here, and then a swivel here. Kind of is difficult to get kind of halfway poses. It's kind of clicks in place, but you can make it happen. And the arm pads are soft goods too, so they're just gonna move out of the way as the arm does. The belt here is free floating, coming down to ball jointed legs as you would expect. Coming down to knee, in the package it actually looked like he didn't have a knee, so that kinda is a testament to the figure. Now it is hard to use the knee, but it is a swivel knee here, which I think, yeah, you can turn it around there like that. So it's pretty nice. Like, you can't really see that the knee's there. That's pretty well done. Coming down to the foot here, again, the swivel and then the rotation on it, as you would expect. And then the foot has a toe tilt on it. So, you know, I saw him at SDCC, or yeah, SDCC. I've never been to an SDCC, but I've seen him at NJCC, which is kind of like SDCC, except nowhere near as big and not revealing anything super new. But they had him on like a little rock structure, and he was capable of getting some decent poses out of him. So let's talk about his accessories. He's got some fists that all they do is pop off their little peg there, and we got two making a fist and punching you fists with 3 fingers and a thumb. Very nice. We have the pointing finger, looking real nice, and then we have the weight type finger. And I assume that they're all, like I said, based on how it looks, they should just pull off here. Oh, that's real tight. Really tight. I don't necessarily like that. This is gonna presumably go back on pretty easy, but boy, that is difficult to get out of the glove. There you go. It's one of the, it's kind of like that Mass Effect Shepard that we looked at, where this is pretty big and this is pretty small, and it kind of should have been the other way around to make it more likely that you would pull the hand off and not the elbow. So yeah, just a matter of figuring out what you like and sliding it back in there, which is easier said than done, because this plastic definitely needs to be warmed up or something. It might help to actually maybe put this in hot water or something to kind of loosen up the plastic for when you end up swapping things out, because that is just definitely not easy. But everything looks really good. When he's pointing, it looks awesome. He's also got 2 guns. I believe they are the same, which is odd because the bio card says only 1 gun. So I don't know if he carried 2 or if the toy had 2. I honestly don't remember. But it goes on just fine with a finger in the trigger guard there. Yeah, it looks good. And if you're not going to use the gun, then you can just take it and peg it into his hip here, just like that. He also comes with 2 alternate faces. The only thing about these faces is I don't really feel like they're really much different expression. It just kind of looks like this one got a little more paint on the corners and this one didn't. Like the eyes look the same, the mouth looks like it's open the same, so I don't really necessarily feel like this is different. This one here, he's kind of looking like, you know, I guess stoic, more stoic, and this one's like he's giving a command or something. I just wish there was maybe one more face with a kind of different emote going on, and I just don't feel like it has it. The face just plugs right in here again because it's like a rubbery type plastic. It is probably going to be difficult to pull it off and put it back on, at least for a little bit. Hopefully that does not loosen up over time. But you can see it is definitely not the type of thing that is really easy to mess with right now. Again, maybe heating it up would help out, but right now it's definitely something that I'm struggling with. So I think I darn near broke my thumbs trying to put the new face on. I mean, it's one of those things that, like, this hole is fairly small and the peg is pretty large, and it just has to kind of work. And it's not going to come off. I mean, you can hold him by his face, but I do kind of wish that they maybe looked at the Figuarts type stuff a little more and saw how they do face swaps. and maybe it was just a little easier. Maybe it will be in future character releases. Maybe the next one we have to look at will actually be better. But at least for Bucky, it could have used a little bit of an improvement on how easy it is to swap these parts, and that's right down to the hands and the face. It's just very difficult, and the cape is hard to peg in. So do I think this guy's worth the price? Given that it's a small company that's produced it, and the runs are probably relatively small compared to like your Playmates Ninja Turtle toys, I think it is. I do think that maybe if they were produced by like a Playmates, I would probably value them maybe like $5 more than your average Ninja Turtle toy. So maybe that puts it in perspective. I do think your paint job is way better than like your average Playmates toy. The posability is way better, and you got a bunch of extra pieces. So I definitely feel like it makes up the difference. Is it a Figure Arts? No, of course it's not. But it's pretty good, and you know, honestly, I really think if you're into the modern turtles like this, I think these guys sit right alongside those turtles looking pretty awesome. But that's just me. So this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I hope in future releases, the faces and stuff are a little bit easier to work with. But other than that, I think he's a solid recommend. I'll see you guys next time.